Welcome to our English Flow podcast channel.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the English Flow podcast. I am Sarah.
And I am Mark. It is wonderful to be here with you again. We hope you are having a great week.
Today, we have a very practical and useful topic. It is something that happens to everyone. Sometimes we buy something, but it is not right. We need to take it back.
That is right. Today, we are talking about how to return an item to the store. This is a very important skill. If you do not know the right words, you might lose your money.
Exactly. Maybe the shirt is the wrong size. Maybe the electronic device does not work. You need to speak to the shop assistant to fix the problem.
Before we talk about how to do this, we must learn the essential vocabulary. These words are very common in customer service.
Our first and most important word is receipt. R-E-C-E-P-T. Note that the P is silent. We say receipt.
A receipt is the piece of paper you get when you buy something. It proves that you paid for the item.
Yes, without a receipt, many stores will not help you. You must keep it safe.
Our next word is refund, R-E-F-U-N-D. A refund is when the store gives you your money back.
If you paid $20 for a shirt and you get a refund, the store gives you $20 back.
But sometimes you do not want the money. You want a different item. This brings us to our third word, exchange, E-X-C-H-A-N-G.
To exchange means to trade one thing for another. For example, I want to exchange this blue shirt for a red shirt.
Or, I want to exchange this size small for a size medium.
Our next word describes why you might return something. The word is defective. D-E-F-E-C-T-I-V.
Defective means broken or not working properly. If you buy a toaster and it does not get hot, it is defective.
Good example. And our last word for this section is policy. P-O-L-I-C-Y.
A policy is a set of rules. Every store has a return policy. These are the rules about when and how you can bring things back.
For example, the policy might say, you have 30 days to return an item. You must know the policy before you go to the store.
So we have receipt, refund, exchange, defective, and policy. Now we are ready to go to the customer service.
So, Mark, now that we have our receipt, let's talk about the actual experience. Do you like returning items to the store?
Honestly, Sarah, I do not like it. I often feel a little nervous. I am always worried that the shop assistant will say no.
I understand that feeling. It can be awkward. You feel like you are complaining. But we must remember, it is a normal part of business. If you are polite, it is usually easy.
Being polite is key, but you also need to follow the rules. As we mentioned, checking the policy is the first step. Most stores have a time limit.
That is right. Usually you have 14 days or 30 days. If you wait for 2 months, it is too late. The computer system will not accept the return.
Another important rule is the condition of the item. You cannot wear a shirt for a week, wash it, and then return it.
Exactly. The item must be unused. Usually, the store requires the price tags to still be attached. If you cut the tags off, they might refuse the return.
That is a very common mistake. I always tell people, do not cut the tags until you are 100% sure you want to keep it.
That is great advice. Now, Mark, let's talk about how you get your money back. It is not always cash, is it?
No, this is where it gets a little complicated. If you paid with a credit card, the money usually goes back to the card. It might take a few days.
And sometimes, if you do not have a receipt, or if the time limit has passed, they might offer you store credit.
Store credit is interesting. It is like a gift card. They don't give you cash. They give you a voucher that you can only use in that specific store.
Some people do not like store credit. They want their cash back. But store credit is better than nothing.
I agree. It allows you to buy something else later. So, the process is check the date, keep the tags on, and be prepared for store credit if you lost your receipt.
It sounds simple when you say it like that, but what about the conversation? What do you actually say to the person at the desk?
That is the hardest part for language learners, finding the right polite phrases to explain the problem.
Exactly. You do not need to be nervous if you know the right phrases. Let's look at some specific situations. Sarah, imagine you bought a shirt, but it is too small. What do you say?
Okay, I walk to the counter, I smile, I say, "Hello, I would like to return this shirt. It does not fit."
That is perfect. It is simple and polite. The clerk will probably ask, "Do you have the receipt?"
And I will say, "Yes, here it is." Then I have a choice. I can ask for an exchange. I can say, "Do you have this in a larger size?"
"Do you have this in a larger size" is a great phrase. It shows you still like the item, but you need a change.
Now, let's try a more difficult situation. Imagine you bought a pair of headphones. You go home, open the box, and they do not work. They are defective.
This is frustrating. In this case, I am not asking for a different size. I am telling them there is a problem. I would say, "Hi, I bought these yesterday. Unfortunately, they are defective."
The word "unfortunately" is very good here. It makes a sentence sound softer.
Yes. Then I explain the detail. One side has no sound. Then I state clearly what I want. "I would like a refund, please."
Or if you want the same headphones but a working pair, you say, "Can I exchange this for a new one?"
Right. Be careful though. For electronics, the store might want to test the item first to see if it really is broken.
That is true. You must be patient. Now, what about the worst situation? You want to return something, but you lost the receipt.
Oh, that is difficult. You must be very polite. You can say, "I am sorry, but I lost my receipt. Is it possible to return this?"
The clerk will probably say no at first, but you can ask, "Is it possible to get store credit instead of cash?"
That is a good compromise. Many stores will say yes to store credit because they keep the money in the store.
So the key phrases are, "It does not fit," "It is defective," "I would like a refund," and "Is store credit possible?"
If you use these phrases clearly, the shop assistant will understand you immediately. It makes the process faster for everyone.
Exactly. Being clear and polite solves many problems. We have covered a lot of important information today. Mark, shall we summarize what we learned?
Yes, let's review. Today, we talked about returning items. We learned that the most important piece of paper is the receipt. You must keep it safe because it proves you paid.
We also defined refund, which is getting your cash back, and exchange, which is trading the item for a different size or color.
We learned the word defective, which means the item is broken, and policy, which is the set of rules the store follows.
In our discussion, we talked about the golden rules of returning items. First, watch the clock. Most stores have a time limit like 14 or 30 days.
Second, keep the tags on. Do not cut the price tags until you are sure you want to keep the item. And third, if you lose your receipt, ask for store credit.
We also practiced some useful phrases like "It does not fit," "I would like a refund," and "Do you have this in a larger size?"
Now, Sarah, I think our listeners are ready for this week's challenge. What should they do?
This week, your challenge is called the receipt check. I want you to look in your wallet or on your desk. Find an old receipt from a supermarket, a clothing store, or a coffee shop.
Okay, and what do they look for?
I want you to read the bottom or the back of the receipt. Look for the return policy. Usually, it is printed in very small letters.
Ah, that is a good reading exercise. Try to find how many days you have to return items. Is it 7 days? Is it 30 days?
Exactly. Read the policy and try to understand the rules of that specific store. It is great practice for reading real-world English.
That is a very practical challenge. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident the next time you go to a store.
Thank you for listening to the English Flow podcast. Don't forget to practice your new vocabulary this week.
We will see you in the next episode. Have a great day.
Goodbye, everyone.